I'm lost in a jungle of zip ties. Let's find the way out together.
Here are my zip ties. I have a lot of them and they are of many different kinds. I need to find some place to keep them stored and organized. Now in a previous video I built this backlit wall of storage. If you haven't seen that one, check it out. It's one of my best. Unfortunately the bins in this are not really suitable for any but the shortest zip ties. The same thing applies to the organizer boxes in the upper deck here. Fortunately, the design of the wall of storage has always included possibilities for expansion. The frame is 80/20 extruded aluminum with exposed mounting slots on the side. In the wall of storage video, I 3D printed this holster for the remote I use to control the backlighting. It hangs on the frame from 2 T-nuts. On the opposite side, we have the same possibility. I'm going to design and 3D print some zip tie organizers that use this slot in the same way that the remote control holster uses it on the other side. This is the power resistor and dummy load part of the wall of storage. That's why I have this arrangement of light bulb sockets here. I built this a long time ago so I could use incandescent light bulbs as power resistors. You can connect the different sockets in parallel or series. By the way, I've always thought that if you needed a funny and cruel nickname for an inept electrical engineering intern, you could do a lot worse than dummy load. I've never heard of anybody being called this. But I have heard of a technician who earned for himself the nickname cold joint. No, it wasn't me. I've made this simple design in SolidWorks. There are 9 cells for different types, and from the side view you can see that the height ramps up, so smaller ones are at the front, taller ones are at the back. This tab fits into the slot of the 80/20 framework, and there are 2 holes for screws that will engage with T-nuts to make it secure. Notice I have these clearance holes so I can get a screwdriver through. I'm also going to make a larger version of this, but we'll get to that later. Off camera, I 3D printed the smaller one in black PLA. This should be suitable for all of the ones from here down. It is very sturdy, probably more than it needs to be. So for the larger one, to save plastic and print time, I'm probably going to thin out these inner ribs and maybe make some other tweaks. And here it is. Once again, we have 9 cells, but the ramp has a steeper slope to accommodate a larger range of lengths. As promised, I made the inner ribs thinner than the outer walls. I also cut away the middle portion of the tab here. Notice that I have a 45-degree chamfer on the bottom surface to prevent overhang problems in the print, and the same on the top surface for no reason at all apart from aesthetic symmetry. Let's print it. "35 hours later, it's done. I don't think I've ever used this much of the Z-axis before. There's hardly any left. Here it is. Despite my adding lightness to this design, it is more than sturdy enough. It will be suitable for all of the zip ties on the longer end of the table. Right, let's get these installed. To show you how these T-nuts work, I'm going to get a loose piece of aluminum extrusion. You can insert this kind of T-nut when it's oriented parallel to the slot, then turn it 90 degrees once inside. If you then pull back a little bit, the wings of the nut will grab onto the extrusion, and you can tighten the screw. Okay, I'm going to install the shorter one on the bottom side of the rail and the taller one on the upper side. This part is a little fiddly, but a magnetized screwdriver helps a lot. I'll be honest, these can be jiggled a bit. After all, they are cantilevered and hanging on only 2 screws, but they should be sturdy enough for such a light payload. Now for the fun part, taking inventory of my zip ties and loading them up. These slightly greenish ones are rated for high temperature. I've used them inside power supplies before. And that's it for the lower unit. Now let's start on the longer zip ties. These are a little bit special. They are mounting zip ties with a screw hole. I don't have many because I used them up recently on this pergola lighting project. And then there's these giant ones, suitable for ductwork or human restraint. Not bad at all. And that's another bit of chaos pushed back. Were it not for the print time, this would qualify as a one-day build, to borrow a term from Adam Savage. To borrow another term from him, this project is an example of baby fat, by which he means room to grow, an excellent thing to design into a storage solution. There are empty cells in both of these, and either one can slide up or down the rail to make room for another organizer, or 2. Anyway, I'm more than happy with how this turned out. It was a quick and easy project, and it solved a real problem I had in the shop. Now all I need is a place for this. Be sure and like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. No! My set is falling apart. I'm Wolverine.